What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the TB Toycast YouTube channel, as today we are unboxing from Boss Fight Studio the Saurozoic Warriors Triax Skiver? Maybe? I don't know. He's a big Triceratops looking dinosaur warrior with a bunch of weapons. What's not to love about these? Travis had kind of been telling me he liked this line, and I looked at him and I'm like, man, these are really, really cool. The problem sometimes with collecting is we all tend to lean towards nostalgia. And so when a company comes up with something like this, it's not really nostalgic based, it's just something kind of cool, something different. And I think sometimes I can tell people might be like, I don't need that, And I think that happens a lot. The more I looked at these, the more I was like, oh, I really, really like this. I like the concept. Big dinosaurs that stand upright and fight. It reminds me of, what was it? What was the dinosaur from Ninja Turtles? I can't think of his name. I'll put his picture up here so you guys will know what I'm talking about. But such a cool idea, and I think this is super fun. These definitely have the 90s vibes. Look at the bright colors. I mean, and this is, of course, internet exclusive through Boss Fight Studio. I did pick this up on Big Bad Toy Store. The entire line's available on Big Bad. And that's another thing I want to talk about, pre-orders. You know, a lot of companies are doing pre-orders only, and after you miss it, it's gone forever. Well, I'll be honest, these have been out a couple of years, and I never really thought about diving into them, but the fact that they're all still available for retail prices, makes it easier to jump in, where if they were $300-$400, it's an easy pass. So there's something to be said about that. I think Boss Fight's got it figured out. So definitely a fun line, one I wanted to dive into, 8 and up on this. So it's really definitely more of a toy. Look at that artwork. Super, super cool. Of course, Boss Fight Studio there. Awesome box. 2 huge boxes, as a matter of fact. And, of course, Wave 1, collect them all, which I do plan to get. We've got the Ceratopsian Guard, maybe? Marosis and Range Brachian. I actually have Range Brachian in the other room. I ordered both of those from Big Bad and put them in my pile of loot. So he'll be coming up sooner rather than later as I try to unravel and collect the rest of this line. But wanted to kind of get these two, kind of see where I felt about them and kind of go from there. Once a Ceratops guard serving his tribal leader, Triax Skiver discovered a dark secret. His leader was hoarding knowledge and technology that can improve the lives of everyone in Sauria, which I guess is where they're from. I like the backstory. That's fun. Not content to just sit by, he stole as many of the forbidden plans and tools as he could carry and left the city in the dead of night. Now, with a bounty on his head, unable to return home, Triax Skiver tries to stay one step ahead of those who chase him. He's heard tales of the hidden society of exiled scholars and teachers and won't rest until he finds them and brings the knowledge he stole to help all the citizens of Sauria. A world-renowned warrior, Triax Skiver uses a variety of custom ammunition in his revolver to take down his opponents. He arrives ready for battle with a halberd axe, 2 blaster pistols, a knife, 2 smoke grenades, and armor. That's all you need, right? I think it's Triax Skiver or Skiver. I'm not 100% sure on the name. Some of these names will be a little bit on the difficult side. Kind of reminds me of like Mythic Legions, where it's just a little hard to pronounce sometimes, but You can't deny it. It looks awesome. And like I said, I still feel like these would do amazing in retail because they will stop you in your tracks. And I'm sure a lot of you watching this who may not be necessarily a collector of this line have seen these or heard of these, but didn't really give it a lot of thought. Oh, that's cool. He-Man style dinosaurs. That's fun. But don't think, oh, I definitely have to collect those. But seeing it now, maybe that changes your mind. And, of course, when we throw in the images that I take after, I'm sure those will be even better. So we're going to open this bad boy up, because that's what we got to do here. More of a box here than a mint on card situation. We're seeing that a lot more now. A lot of people still say mint on card. That's always kind of got me, because I'm like, it's really more of a box these days. I know Hasbro figures were mint on card. Even Jacks were mint on card. Elites, those are in a box. I'm sorry. It's a fact. It's a box. You're opening a box. So it's mint in box. But I think we're all just used to calling it what we call it. Pretty cool packaging. Don't hate these at all. You can, of course, the social media links. Follow us at Boss Fight Studio. QR code if you so desire. Check those out. Like I said, really, really really fun line, and I'm hoping I can get the entire wave of these because I think these are great. Well, not the entire wave, the entire line. I think they've done 3 waves so far. And I actually talked to them on Instagram the other day because I think they were posting wave 3, which I believe is the newest wave. And we haven't seen anything beyond that. Of course, the state of action figures is a little uncertain. Gotta love the twist ties every day of my life. The state of action figures, a little uncertain right now, obviously, because, you know, of everything that's going on in the world. So we'll see what happens. And I could see things kind of just being held, you know, like in a delay of sorts. I hope not, but that's probably the best plan for a lot of people, at least as of right now. But again, I don't know. I'm not smart like that. I just know I want my action figures, and hopefully it's nothing too bad that's happening. And, you know, who knows? By the time this video comes out, maybe everything's resolved. That's what I'm hoping for, anyway. Getting all his weapons out. He does have a pretty sizable amount of weapons, so we're going to see how all these look. I don't feel like it's an abundance where it's too many, but it's a nice amount. These also retail for about $30. So a little maybe more expensive than something you'd find on retail. Let's kind of check out the articulation here. Really cool. Like I said, I love the bright colors on this. Nice articulation on the arm. Smooth joints. Little stiff, but that's all right. Kind of to be expected. Very cool. Look at the head detail. Articulation at the mouth. Wow, that's interesting. Didn't expect that. Maybe if I get it in camera, we can see that a little bit better. Very, very cool. Like the scar above the eye. That's awesome. Looks like he's got a way to carry everything he's got. We'll kind of look at this. We've got a couple of handguns here. Looks like we can slide those in the holsters. Maybe. So that's cool. So yeah, like I said, I picked this up on Big Bad, $30. Put it in my pile of loot. Range Bracken, the other guy I got, was actually a little cheaper. I think I got him for like $22, maybe. So, you know, really not super expensive. All things considered, Axe can go right there. Awesome. Of course, he can hold all this stuff too, but it's nice to know that it's like it's all there and he can kind of, you know, he has a place for it. I'm kind of curious where these grenades would go. Try to get that to stick up right there. Actually, I think I'm going to have him hold this just because you definitely want to hold an axe. You could probably clip the grenades back here or something, but I don't think I'm going to do that because I'm afraid those will get lost. But I'm going to close his mouth up a little bit. Stand him up. Awesome looking figure. I actually am more blown away by this than I was expecting to be. I think it looks awesome. I think these are phenomenal looking action figures. To kind of give you a size comparison, here is a Super 7 Monkeyan, definitely shorter than that. Here's a Super 7 Turtle. Man, I'd say those scale pretty good right there. Turtle's a little taller, but that's all right. Again, a lot of people I know do not cross-pollinate, and I can so respect that. Here's a DC Multiverse right over here. All stuff I've unboxed recently here on the channel. Quite a bit taller, obviously. But I think these are awesome. I think this is a new line I'm definitely going to want to dive into. And like I say with Boss Fight, I asked, what about a potential 4th wave? And they said, we have big plans for the Saurozoic Warriors. So that tells me that hopefully a 4th wave, a 5th wave, and beyond, once things kind of settle out and we're able to get more product or factories change or whatever it is they have to do, because, you know, who knows at that point. But like I said, I'm all in on these. I actually am I'm even more excited now having unboxed this than I was before. I love that he has a place for all of his weapons. I think you could actually probably put the grenade back here if you wanted to. Yeah, that would be a nice little place for it. Probably put one in his hand or somewhere else. But like I said, not overloaded with weapons, but enough to really make it look like it's good. The articulation, the detail, very, very cool. Boss Fight's killing it with this. Boss Fight, I feel like, slides under the radar, and he also stands up well, which is a big thing for me. I love to be able to display my stuff. Boss Fight slides under the radar a lot, but their Legends of Lucha Libre line, I know they have a Popeye line, they've done a Power Stars line, several other lines that I think are really, really good, and it's a shame they slide under the radar. But again, $30 for this. A little bit more expensive than what you might pay at retail, but considerably less expensive than something like a Super 7 or a NECA. So, to me, I'm all in. You can buy them on bossfightstudio.com, I believe is their website. I'll put a link up right there. And like I said, I picked these up on Big Bad, added them to my pile of loot, and they came in, and they were actually like the highlight of the box for me. So very, very cool stuff. What do you guys think? Would this be a line you're into? Would this be a line that would do better if you saw it at a store? You walk by Target, you see this, you're like, whoa, I don't know who this big dinosaur guy is, but I want it. I want it in the collection. Very, very cool stuff. Man, awesome. Awesome figure. So that's the Triax Skiver of the Saurozoic Warriors. Definitely one that I cannot wait to take pictures of and show off on the Instagram and everything else, and obviously unbox the rest of his brethren from the Saurozoic Warriors line from Boss Fight Studio. Very, very cool stuff. But hopefully you guys enjoy this. Check out my other YouTube shows on this channel, including What's on the Pegs. You want to see what I'm finding out on the stores? Check that out every Saturday. In fact, I hope I find one of these at a retail store or a vintage store, because I'd love to take a picture of it for that show. Hasn't happened yet that I remember, but maybe one day. Also, check out Tales of the Toy Box. New episodes drop every month. The month of April, we had G.I. Joe Street Fighter, which was such an awesome line. That was such a fun deep dive to dive into. And then, of course, with the month of May, if it's not up already, it will be soon. WWF Hasbro Series 1. Very, very cool stuff. Super excited to get those, to talk about them. Such a great line. And then, of course, new unboxing videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I've recently unboxed the Transformers 4-pack from Hasbro. Check that out. How about, I showed it earlier, the Super 7 Michelangelo from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's another unboxing you can check out. And then also, how about a random one? How about the Gladiator from Mythic Legions? Another fun unboxing. Check all those out on the TB Toycast YouTube channel. And don't forget the TB Toycast podcast, wherever you get your podcast. New episodes every Thursday. We have a different main event. We're also talking about everything in the toy world that particular week, so check that out as well. That's it. That's all I got. Thank you guys for checking out the TB Toycast YouTube channel. That's Triax Skiver. Maybe, if that's his name. I think that's his name. And we will see you guys in the toy aisle.
Yeah. One more time. It ain't over till I say it's over. So lock the cage up, cause this is a takeover. The wait's over. If this the final time we meet, then you'll be on your back on my feet. Then I'll tip the cage over as a hangover. I'm super fly so I can splash off the top. And I can shut down the shot.